Do you know what separates successful real estate agents from the rest? It's not just about selling houses. It's about mastering a unique skill set. Today, we're going to talk about the traits that you need in order to build a successful career in the real estate industry. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications when I drop any new video, giving lots of tips on how to become a very successful real estate agent. If you just got your license or you've been a real estate agent for many years, you're probably wondering, what are the secrets of these top agents that continue to sell properties right and left? Well, the truth is, there is no secret. There are just hidden traits that you need to master. I'm Stephanie, and I have been a real estate agent for over 20 years in Chicago. I have sold over $400 million worth of real estate, helping so many families find their dream home. I really want to help you fast track your success. So the first one is being really true and consistent to activities that you need to be doing every single day in order to build that business. Most agents have the habit of they get a deal and then they work in the deal and they spend a ton of time working in the deal and they forget about all the prospecting activities that they're supposed to be doing in the meantime that then will help them fill their pipeline to have down the road. And so changing that routine and sticking true to staying consistent to prospecting activities is going to make all the difference in the times that are slower and it feeling like you're riding the roller coaster of having lots of business and then having no business going on. It's really going to help give you the confidence and the consistency in what your career is going to look like for the entire duration of the year and many years to come, versus in the short term, just coming up with a couple deals. And when the market is slower, a lot of agents have a tendency to take their foot off the pedal. And that is really when you need to step up and be doing more activities than ever so that when the market does turn, you are more than ready to go. I think another key element is making sure that you have great self-awareness. If you would like to host seminars for new home buyers, you probably don't want to do that if you're a shyer, more introverted person that is not necessarily great at talking in front of people, right? You need somebody that's more dynamic, that's going to sort of bring people in and be able to capture their attention. So maybe that's not a great skill set for you and not a great niche that you want to focus on. If you're amazing at working a room, then networking events are going to be great for you, right? If you're a little bit shyer and you're a little bit better with one-on-ones, then focusing on break breads and having coffee with people and sticking to that one-on-one, that's going to be a better skill set for you. So I think making sure that we're identifying where our strengths and weaknesses lie so that we're not trying to be someone that we're not. I think a lot of times we have a habit of this shiny object syndrome. We see somebody else doing something and having success at it, and so we think that we need to jump into that. I see this happen a lot with rehab projects. You know, they talk to a couple agents who are really experts in that renovation process and feel like, well, if they're making all this money, I should jump in and do that. But really, that may not be your skill set, and that may not be something that you're super passionate about. Tapping into our strengths and weaknesses in being honest with ourselves, and then using that to our best ability to then put that forward and do activities that suit that. One really important piece that a lot of agents forget is that we need to be the positive vibe for everyone out there. Even if the market is not great, even if you're super swamped and busy, we do need to be authentic to ourselves, but we also need to make sure that we are not portraying something that is not accurate, right? So saying I'm super busy, that may give people the impression that you're too busy to take on additional business. Saying you sold something in 3 days can be a good marketing tool, but also can maybe let buyers know they may never be able to get a property, or it may give the sellers the impression that that has to happen for them, and then it doesn't happen for them. And then you're trying to sort of talk your way or explain your way out of this situation. As agents, a couple of our major roles are staying positive to what is happening and making sure that we're portraying things in a neutral manner where we are not just using our own opinion of things. We're giving a buyer and a seller all of the information so that they can make the best decision for them. Our job is to be advisors, to give them all the information they need so that they can then make the best decisions for them. The other thing to be aware of is these real estate transactions take time, and I think that when a buyer or a seller feels your desperation in needing to close a transaction, they are going to feel like it's a transaction. Whereas if you let them take their time and you are patient and you guide along the way and you do push a little bit, maybe when they need a push, but just understanding and recognizing that the stress that you are putting on sellers or buyers to make quicker decisions and everything may actually not be in their best interest and won't be a great reflection on you. So give it time, make sure that you are giving it all the attention that it needs and that you are being patient. We also need to be great communicators. So often than not, I find that agents are terrible about getting back to me or to their buyer or to their seller, and everyone feels frustrated in that. So making sure that we are being really good on communication. One of the tips I have is I have theme days every single day of the week. So every day of the week, I am calling on different people. One day is my sphere of influence and past clients. One day are my VIPs, most important people in my life. One day I'm calling on all of my leads. One day I am calling all of our current clients that are in the pipeline, either with a listing or under contract to purchase. So especially on Tuesdays when I call all of my current listings and all of my buyers under contract, everyone knows that I am going to be reaching out to them. So a lot of you have a lot of inbound phone calls, and I was able to get my life back and get more control back of my schedule when I actually started making more of those outbound phone calls. Okay, this may be the most important thing, and that is accountability. So many agents that I talk to discuss how they have all the systems, their companies provide them with all of these amazing systems and techniques and forms and presentations and everything else. But here's the deal. If you are not being held accountable to those activities, most of the time they will not happen. We get distracted, weeks go by. You will go weeks without making a phone call. You will go weeks without writing a handwritten note. You will go weeks without doing a break bread, meeting somebody for coffee or lunch. This just happens when we are not being held accountable to the activities. So a couple tricks for that. One, you can find a great coach. Another is finding an accountability partner that will be really strict and hold you to the activities that you need to be doing. A third is for those of you that are super diligent, having a tracking system and then reviewing that tracking at the end of every single week is also really helpful. You can also join accountability groups and other stuff, but a lot of times even that sort of fizzles, right? Somebody gets tired of doing the activities. Someone doesn't want to be mean and kind of really hold you to the accountability that you need to be held to. The other key element, even as you go through your career, is making sure that we are continuing to learn and build new skill sets. So a lot of the social business and social media was not around 10 years ago and it wasn't super popular. So no real estate agents were even on there doing anything. In today's world, this is a really important piece of our business. It makes sure that we tie in the traditional approaches that we've always done and the more modern approaches so that we can really translate our messaging across all different platforms to all different kinds of people. And the amazing thing with this is it allows us to be able to get in front of a lot of people that we otherwise would not be able to get in front of. So I think if you are a newer agent in the business, this is a really phenomenal way of making it seem like you have a real estate sign in every yard across town, right? It's a way for you to be in front of lots of people with costing you pretty much nothing except some time and energy, and making sure that things that we're putting out there are actually educational to other people and that we're not just using it as a platform for ourselves personally. But we also need to make sure that we are staying on top of all of the market trends going on in our own individual towns. Your business should be run like a business. You should have daily activities. You should have calls that you need to be getting done. You should have consistent meetings for you, for yourself, for your clients, for your team. You should be running a profit and loss statement every single month to see what your monthly expenses are. I did not start doing that profit and loss until about 7 or 8 years ago, which I am embarrassed to say. However, we aren't really taught that these are things that we should be doing in order to run our business. Many times we're just told to prospect or to make calls or to go out and meet people. And those are really key elements. But taking all of that and then figuring out on the back end of operations on how to actually run the business is really key. At the end of the day, if our profit and loss is not profitable, we are not running a business. This is not a charity case. Now, for newer agents, you're going to need to just get your sphere of influence built up. So finding some of the networking events that you can attend, figuring out an activity that you would really like to get involved in to just get in front of more people. Every single person you meet is a potential person that can get added to that database. Remember, it's not always somebody that's looking to buy or sell a home. It can be someone that is willing to make a connection for you to someone else. It can also be somebody that just is really great in your life and is going to contribute in other ways that will inevitably lead to this authentic relationship that will then lead to bigger things, right? So I think we are very short-sighted, especially when we first get into the business, because we're so desperate to sort of find that first piece of business and get going on it, that we forget that every single person we talk to is a potential client or is a potential prospect or is a potential person that can be great in our database in helping us in a lot of different ways. And I think the best way when you first start out is figuring out how you can help other people. Figure out how you can refer to other people because they will want to respond in turn, right? They will want to give back, especially if you are pouring into them. Being in marketing and sales does mean that we have to deal with rejection. Rejection can be tough, but remember that with each and every rejection, we are growing tenfold. And if you think about it in that way, it will really help propel you to the next level. So every rejection situation that happens or any loss that you experience in this industry, you need to analyze, why did that happen? What went wrong? What can I do better the next time? And get used to the rejection because that is where the real growth will actually happen. One tip that I have in how I look at rejection or loss is that I always say to myself, I am never going to make that mistake again. Without all of the activities, you really don't have a consistently run real estate business. If you're ready to take your real estate career to the next level with developing these essential traits, click the link in the description for a personal consultation with me. And if you found these insights helpful, give us a like, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so that you can stay tuned for all the strategies to propel your real estate career to the next level.